India has passed a new law that will make it easier for non-Muslim minorities from neighboring countries to gain Indian citizenship. Opposition to it is especially strong in India's northeastern Assam state, which borders Bangladesh. Assam is an ethnically diverse region with a large Muslim population. Thousands have defied a curfew to protest the new measure. People there fear undocumented Hindu migrants from neighboring Bangladesh will now be granted citizenship and dilute the political sway of the region.
A rupture of faith in the state. Many here in Assam see the passage of the Citizenship Amendment Bill as a clear message from the Hindu nationalist government that they are second-class citizens.
The government, what are they doing? They're trying to make us minority in our own very state, in our own very religion, by giving citizenship to Bangladeshis.
The new law would allow non-Muslim religious minorities from neighboring countries, like Bangladesh, to claim Indian nationality. A campaign promise delivered by Prime Minister Modi's BJP government, which denies the measure discriminates against any group.
This bill will not harm, even a little bit, any minority, especially our Muslim brothers and sisters who live in this country. Because this bill only gives citizenship, it doesn't take it away from anybody.
But critics say the law undermines India's secular constitution and is blatantly anti-Muslim.
In this bill, they are targeting a community without naming it. It violates the basic structure of the Constitution. It is divisive and exclusive. It will destabilize our polity, and 18 to 20 million people will not trust us.
In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed a landmark day for India and promised the bill would alleviate the suffering of many who faced persecution. But in Assam, the bill is another reason to distrust Modi's India. A recent citizenship registry exercise excluded 2 million people in Assam, who now have to prove their citizenship or be rendered stateless. Hindus left off the list now have protection, but not Muslims, who could face deportation.
Reaction to the Citizenship Amendment Bill has also hit social media. On Twitter, this user captured some of the Assam protests and asked, "Assam is burning and the government is not paying any attention to it. Is this the democracy we are living in?" And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has tweeted this, urging the people of Assam, whom he calls brothers and sisters, not to worry. Quote, "I want to assure them no one can take away your rights, unique identity, and beautiful culture. It will continue to grow and flourish," end quote. But this user rejected Modi's statement as hollow words, saying that's why people in Assam are braving internet blocks, lathis, curfew, and tear gas in protest. And this user pointed out the irony of Modi's method of communication. Unfortunately, people in Assam cannot read your tweet because you have shut down the internet. We have Dr. Binayak Sen with us. He is Research Director of the Bangladesh Institute of Development Studies to talk about this and also other challenges his country is facing. So what kind of reaction is this new law getting in Bangladesh, if any?
Bangladesh side is very much still watching over this, and approach is wait and see. And informally, maybe the signal is that we have to amicably settle so that given the sensitivities in Bangladesh, it is not out of control.
Right.
Of either side.
So it's a wait and see. We'll have to maybe check back in a few weeks. I want to pivot to the work that you do at your organization and look at the economy in Bangladesh. The economy has been slowing. It's been the weakest in about a decade. Why?
I'm not so sure about that characterization because of the reasons that Bangladesh has been experiencing accelerating economic growth. We have been growing over 6% for over last decade, and over the last 3-4 years, we are growing at a rate of 7% per year. And this year, we have accelerated even further to 8% plus. So I don't know where the growth deceleration information comes, but I guess the major origin is that what are the sources of this growth acceleration? When India is slowing down from 6-7% to 4%, how come Bangladesh is growing from 5% to 6% to 7, even 8% plus? So some of the commentators have made the point that it is incongruent with the information of bank credit increase, because normally when you are a growing economy, you would expect bank credit to expand fast. So that is not happening. So that's the reason people are sometimes casting doubt on this.
In terms of the number and the growth rate.
That's right.
At the same time, your organization has done some research looking at unemployment among Bangladeshi youth. And I believe the conclusion was, what's the percentage of people? 30% of
Yes.
people could, as much as 30% of Bangladeshi youth could be unemployed. How do you solve this problem?
Well, first thing is that that study which you are referring to was done on the basis of online platform. So it is a self-select audience of youth group who are responding to the questions. So one factor might be the queuing factor. They would like to wait for the kind of jobs they want, and the waiting period may last for 6 months to 2 years. So in that sense, that does not give us the true picture of unemployment among the educated youth, because some of these unemployments may be of voluntary nature, that I am voluntarily choosing not to select that particular route for job seeking. So educated unemployment rate would be higher, like in any other countries. In Bangladesh also higher than the usual unemployment rate among the population, but it will not be that high as 30%.
So in both of your answers, what is really interesting is that numbers can sometimes be deceiving, and it really depends on how you interpret it.
Absolutely.
And so when you look at these numbers and you look at the arguments about the state of the economy or the state of the future for Bangladeshi youth, what do you think long term? Are the prospects good for the country?
I think I am arguing that if don't rock the boat, if Bangladesh can grow at a rate of 6% plus over the next decade, it will reach the SDG goal of poverty eradication by 2030.
Which is an SDG, Sustainable Development Goal of the
So
UN.
goal number 1.
Right.
And the second part of your question is relating to what can be done for the youth. First of all, to improve the quality of the education and training so that they can be acquiring flexible skills.
Right.
In the fast changing global market, so that they can adapt to the market situations.
Well, but in terms of all that, you're talking about the next decade. The other thing that we read about in the next decade is the impact of the climate emergency on the country. Surely that's going to impact growth.
Yes, that is a major concern, and it will affect our long-term growth. But that will require not just our national initiative, but also a huge international assistance in that regard, because some of these effects are beyond our control, and we need assistance to cope with the climate change effects.
Dr. Sen, thank you.
Thank you very much.